Oh, yeah. Post-fight
Mixed
press
martial
conference.
arts. Aftermath of 266. What a card that it was.
Yeah.
All right, we are live, everybody. UFC 266 has come to an end, a memorable event. And we're going to get some more memories because we're going to hear from some of the tastemakers, the notable names coming out of tonight's card from the T-Mobile Arena. I almost said the UFC Apex in Las Vegas, Nevada. We just saw Alexander Volkanovski defend his featherweight title for the second time, and just an incredible show of grit and determination from both guys, not just the champion Volkanovski, but Brian Ortega as well. Valentina Shevchenko retained her flyweight title in dominant fashion, and we got a rematch 17 years in the making with a little revenge extracted by one ruthless Robbie Lawler. So thank you for joining us. Hope you guys enjoy the card. I know I did. It was insane, and we're going to talk all about it for the next several hours. But this is the first of two parts of our post-fight coverage. We have the press conference, Jose Young's in the media tent at the T-Mobile Arena. We're waiting to hear from Robbie Lawler. We are waiting to hear from Valentina Shevchenko. I don't think we'll be hearing from Brian Ortega after that fight, but I'm sure we'll hear from Alexander Volkanovski. We'll not be hearing from Nick Diaz either, from what I understand. But who knows? He is a unicorn after all. Yeah. Maybe he will just gallop his way onto that chair. And of course, we will hear from UFC President Dana White as well, one would assume. So I am Mike Heck. On the ones and twos, Casey Leiden joins us as well. Casey, just your immediate thoughts on the main event and what went down, and Alexander Volkanovski and still.
Oh, wow. It was a great fight. It was a fantastic fight. It's one of those fights where, yeah, if you look at the scorecards, the scorecards don't really tell the story of the fight, I guess. It's one of those type fights. Round 3, obviously, one of the greatest rounds ever in a championship fight. Let's just call it the greatest round 3 of a 5-round fight we've ever seen. I'll go ahead and just say that. Volkanovski, he proved why he's champ. And Ortega proved why he deserved that second shot at the title. And it's just a great mixed martial arts fight. Yeah, wonderful.
Yes, the martial arts were mixed like
never
before.
It truly was. It truly was tonight. It was a grand mixture of all the martial arts. Yes.
Let me ask you this question, because we had 2 rounds. We had 2 rounds on this card that are definitely nominees for round of the year. We had, of course, the 3rd round in the title fight, and then the first round of Marlon Moraes versus Merab Dvalishvili was absolutely ridiculous.
Which round was better? Which round was better? I'll go and say round 3 for the championship fight, only because the super high stakes and the fact that I probably almost flipped over the couch watching it. I was like, oh my god, it was bonkers. And then getting out of that, and it was insane. It was. I mean, it's like saying who's your favorite child. I don't know. It was 2 amazing rounds, and we were very fortunate as fans and media members to witness that.
Yeah, Merab Dvalishvili is not a human being. It's official. Yeah. He's not a human being.
Yeah. By the way, I scored that round 10-8 for both fighters.
Yeah,
10-8. No one deserves to lose that round. I'm talking about Moraes and Dvalishvili. I'm going to have to say his name more. How do you say his last name?
Yeah. Turn the V's into W's.
Dvalishvili.
Merab.
Good old Merab.
Yes, Merab. And I got to tell you, if you guys are looking for a boost, because I didn't see it live because I was doing the play-by-play for the site on Twitter, go watch the corner between rounds 1 and 2 of Merab Dvalishvili. Ray Longo, Matt Serra, firing him up. I mean, I got goosebumps. If you just need a boost, if you want to start going to the gym on Monday and you got to wake up early, but you don't want to get out of bed, just make that your alarm clock, and your ass will be out of bed and lifting some weights at 6 a.m. That fight was, I mean, it was just a really good card. It was just a really good card. It did what it needed to do. Everything kind of over delivered, and it's just really good. I mean, I'll maybe taking the Blades Rosenstrike fight out, but in terms of entertainment value, but listen, I have no problem with the way Curtis Blades fought tonight because he did what he needed to do to win. I mean, he didn't get a lot of fans, but he won the fight. He got home, got a second paycheck. There you go. That's the name of the game.
Well, one thing I love heavyweight MMA, but I don't love smart technical heavyweight MMA. That's no fun. I'm joking.
Yeah,
I know. Curtis Blades, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, just punch each other in the face. Come on, guys. What is this takedown using strategy and getting the win? Because obviously Curtis Blades is just a A-level heavyweight, and he I don't know if exposed, but he took advantage of the weaknesses in Biggie Boy, and he got out of there. He got out of there very luckily because his eye was sealed up, and if the ref would have came at any time and go, "Hey doc, look at this eye," we have an entirely different story. That fight can easily have been stopped if the ref would have just gone, "Ooh, your eye's messed up," because it was. So good fight, but overall the card, we hyped this card up big as the media, saying this is a great card, and it delivered. So great job, fighters, and great job, UFC, by making the right fights.
Yes. It started off with a submission from Jonathan Pierce. Good win for him. Matt Semmelsberger joined just Anthony Rumble Johnson as the only two fighters in UFC history to now hold 2 knockouts under 20 seconds. So 15 seconds for Semmelsberger. And Semmelsberger did it in 3 fights. 2 out of 3 fights, he delivered knockouts under 20 seconds. I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, let's talk about it. The quality of competition is a bit different. You don't want to crap on any professional fighter, but the gentleman Martin Sano, I know that was egregious matchmaking by the UFC to allow that fight, to allow that gentleman into the UFC octagon. I'm sure he's a great dude. I've seen him before. I've seen him. He's in the background of almost every Diaz photo you see. Obviously. And even the knockout, Semmelsberger was just throwing basic feints, and he was just biting so big on him.
We have Robbie Lawler. Here he is after his big win.
Of course, you've had big victories throughout your career, but all week long, this felt like a special fight. A big moment in the sport. So, what does this victory mean to you? How are you feeling right now?
I feel good. My camp at Sanford MMA did a great job getting me ready for this fight. Jason Jackson pushed me and imitated Nick Diaz to a T, so I was ready to go. I was in shape, and I felt good.
That's awesome. The speed obviously was clearly a difference earlier. Were you expecting to have that type of advantage? I mean, we hadn't seen him fight in 6 years, right? So did that play out the difference in speed as you expected, or was it a little surprising?
No, I thought I'd be a little faster. I've been working on my skills. I had 10 weeks to get ready for them. I didn't gain a whole bunch of weight as soon as I knew. It's not like I started eating junk food. I kept it pretty similar weight-wise. I probably weighed about 183 in the ring and just kept – I knew I was in shape, so I was just going to press the pace. And he likes to fight on the inside and close, and so do I. So he obliged, and we put on a nice show for the fans.
Definitely was. You mentioned the pace. It was pretty crazy, especially considering that you guys were scheduled for 5 rounds, right? So, I mean, was there any part – I know you said you were in shape, but as this thing's playing out, are you like, we got to slow down a little bit here?
No, I was just going to keep going. I think my corner and Lentz was like, man, you're freaking going at a pace. But as soon as I went out there, I was like huffing and puffing in between rounds. But as soon as we went out there, I was feeling good and just letting them fly. And Nick was doing a good job mixing it up, and it was a fun fight.
Yeah, no doubt. Very fun. Ending sequence was a little unique, right? It's not something we'd expect to see. Did you know that you had hurt him bad, and did you realize kind of what was happening at that point?
I felt like it was an accumulation, but I think I caught him with a little check hook, and then caught him with a left after that, and then when he went down, I hit him with an uppercut. But I think he wanted me to follow him down, and I was like, let's continue the freaking fun stuff.
Is there any disappointment that it ended that way? I mean, or is this happy that you kind of made him quit, basically?
No, it's he's a warrior. I mean, that was a rough fight. He was standing right there in the pocket. I throw hard shots, and he was taking them, and it was a lot of damage. Like when you go back and watch the fight, it was a war, a 3-round war, and I hit pretty hard, and just wasn't his night.
No doubt. Last thing for me, you said that this one got you up, this one got you motivated, excited again. So where do you go from here? I mean, are there other matchups like this that will excite you in the same way?
Yeah, I'm sure the UFC will come up with something and talk to Dave Martin, and we'll figure it out. And Sanford MMA is going to get me ready for my fight, and I'll be ready to fight whoever.
Rob, to your left. Congratulations. I walked in a little bit late, so did he seem any slower that you remember before? Like he didn't seem to have the same snap that he maybe had, earlier in his career?
I don't really know because I wasn't. It was a feeling thing. He was long, and a lot of the stuff he does, he never really had fast hands. He would use his body to kind of cover that distance, so he leans a little bit more. So it's not necessarily fast hands. It's more timing and that type of stuff. And he slaps and he does stuff. He was never really a fast puncher, so I wasn't too worried. And I was trying to smother him and try to not take too much damage out there.
And I heard you referencing the finish. He seemed like maybe his knee fell underneath him, or did you break his nose, or was it just the fact that he had had enough, do you think?
I'm not sure. I mean, it was a rough fight. Hats off to him, and I mean, I don't know what to say.
In your wildest dreams, did you ever think you'd be fighting a guy 17 years apart? I mean, that's...
No, I did not think I was going to fight him, and then 2 months ago when they offered me the fight, I was like, all right, like this fight gets me excited. I mean, but I don't think everyone expected to see me the way I was today. I think they thought they were going to see the guy who's been fighting for the last 1.5, 2 years, and that wasn't who showed up today, and I spoiled some plans.
Right here. You're now 5-0 in rematches. There's something specific that gets you. Like, is it just training harder going into these rematches, knowing you spent time against these previous opponents? Now you know what to expect the next time you face them.
I don't know. Sometimes it's just nice to prove that you're better than the last time you fought, and that's how I always take these fights. Like that wasn't my best. I'm going to show you what my best is. And tonight was my night. I mean, Nick put on a hell of a performance. It was a hell of a show, and we went at it, and hats off to him. He's freaking a killer.
And I think all week we've seen the promos, the past fight. He was doing a lot of talking, and he's saying he was trying to psych you out in that fight. Did he say anything to you during the fight this time, 17 years later?
I have no idea. I couldn't hear anything. I was just going out there trying to have fun and push the pace and get in there and make it a war.
Then finally, what did you two say to each other after the fight? I saw you lean down to him right when the ref waved it off.
I just said thank you for bringing the best out of me, and I have a lot of respect for you, and hopefully your life is going to get together, and good things are going to happen to you. He's a hell of a guy. He's a nice guy. He's a freaking warrior, and you, in this sport and in sports in general, you want the best for your opponents and the athletes that you see around you. So I like him.
And Robbie, just following on from that, Nick is obviously a fan favorite. You're obviously a big fan of Nick. Would you like to see him fight again?
That's up to Nick. That's up to the UFC. I mean, you never know what people are going through. I'm a guy on the outside looking in, and I'm not trying to freaking solve anyone's problems or I think that's for you guys to label and figure out. I don't let people do their thing. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to go hide out at home and hang out with my kids and mind my own business.
Robbie, to your right over here, having fought Colby Covington and seen the first fight with Usman, just curious what your thoughts are on the rematch.
It's a good fight. Colby brings it. I mean, it's Usman brings it. He's getting better, and I mean, I think the fans are excited to see it.
Any prediction?
Nope, that's not my game.
Congrats.
Sorry, Robbie. You were consistent all week, and every time you were out saying you're not paying attention to the other stuff. You don't care what he does. But in retrospect, was this a crazy week? You land, you find out it's a different way. He's doing, whatever he's doing on that side. Was it a weird week for you to kind of go through?
No, I knew that they were looking to do that. Like Saturday, that they were talking about doing the 185, and I was just showing up, and I couldn't really add too much weight because I had already did what I did to my body, and I had already lost 15 pounds and was on my way down. So I didn't try to add too much weight back on. Just kept with kind of the same diet, but you never know what's going to happen in this sport. I can only control so much, so that's what I focused on, what I could control, which was my mind, training with my training partners and coaches, getting me ready for this fight, and I wasn't too worried about the hoopla.
Was there ever a thought that you weren't going to say yes to that?
I'm not answering that.
And I know one of the other things you said is you didn't pay attention to the stuff he was saying, but he said he didn't want this fight. He doesn't know how it even happened. Like, were you aware that he said that, and how did that make you feel?
I mean, he's hyping the fight, doing what he does, and I don't really care what anyone says. Like, I think my coaches and training partners are like, hey, look what he's saying, but I don't care. Like, I don't care what guys are saying. It does not matter to me. Like, I'm worried about myself and what I'm doing.
And just how good are you feeling right now, like having a win, being able to build out this and keep going?
I feel good. I mean, really, it was the camp that I fell back on. Even though they moved it up to 185, my camp went well. My mindset was good. My body felt good. So that's why the weight issue wasn't a big deal to me, because I was ready.
And the last thing, he came out obviously, kind of an explosive move right out of the start with the spin, but then he kind of just laid back and let you hit him a couple of times. Do you think he was trying to get a feel for the fight again? Is that what he was trying to settle into?
I'm not sure what he was doing. He was probably trying to figure it out, see if he could take some shots and what he could handle. And he took some good shots and gave some good shots and tried to figure it out. It just wasn't his night tonight.
Thanks, man.
Robbie, you snapped the longest losing streak of your career. How does that feel?
I don't know. It just feels like I won today, and I'm freaking excited about it. I mean, I don't really. I'm excited to go home and chill, but I put together a good training camp. It's nice to get a win, and you're only as good as your last fight, right? So that's what I focus on.
And finally, you kind of alluded, like earlier, you said that the Robbie from a year ago or 2 years ago wasn't there tonight. Was it Nick Diaz who brought the Robbie Lawler, violent, ruthless Robbie Lawler out?
I think it was accumulation of stuff. I mean, my training camp, my coach, Nick Lentz, Henry Hoof, Jason Jackson, just getting me ready for the fight. But, yeah, he definitely got me excited. And, yeah, I mean, it was all of the above. I was ready to fight, and I was ready to prove that I'm better than what people have been seeing.
Congrats.
Thank you.
There he is, Robbie Lawler, not a fighter more excited to let go of that microphone and walk away you will not find than ruthless Robbie Lawler. It's like, I love the guy. I like these interviews, and I like the fact that he's like a hermit crab, and he admits that he's a hermit crab and just wants to escape. He doesn't want to be in the spotlight. He's Bull Durham. He's the Bull Durham of MMA. Just thank the coaches. Training camp was great. I'm not answering any silly questions.
Doesn't do predictions. Yeah, just like, what do you think about this fight?
Predictions.
Like, nah, I stay in my lane. Yeah.
I can only control what I can control. Just classic answers from Robbie Lawler. Handle like a champion, and a huge win for him 17 years later.
He was actually more open than I expect him to be be honest. I thought that was and I mean, I've interviewed Robbie plenty of times. I did actually hang out with Robbie once. We went to kind of a bar, and he's the same dude. We just talked about football. And I knew nothing about football,
yeah.
but we talked about football. He was excited.
Yeah. I'm starting to think, like, we talk about like coach of the year and things like that. I'm really starting to think that Jason Jackson might be the teammate of the year in MMA, because he got Gilbert Burns in good shape for the Stephen Thompson fight. Now he's getting Robbie Lawler, mimicking Nick Diaz for Robbie Lawler, and we
need to see that footage.
Yeah, I mean, Jason Jackson, who's knocking on the door of a Bellator welterweight title shot himself, is just helping all these guys out and just being. He might be the best teammate at MMA right now.
Yeah, maybe probably one of the most underrated welterweights in all of MMA too. I mean, I think outside
100%.
of Bellator welterweights and a few of us media members, I don't think fans know him yet, and I'm not sure why. Because is he the one with the best nickname in the sport?
He's the ass kicking machine.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if this is true. I'm trying. Someone put this up there, but Nick Diaz.
Well, Jose threw that out there.
Oh,
when he
okay.
asked this
Yeah,
question.
Nick Diaz, Scott Smith. Who else am I missing?
Let me run
Rory,
down the line
Rory
here.
McDonald. I can do this. Rory McDonald. Wait.
Let's see.
I'm forgetting obvious ones. I know.
Johnny Hendricks.
Oh yeah, Johnny Hendricks. What's the fifth one then? What's the fifth one?
I gotta think.
Must be early in his career. Oh, Nick Diaz. Wait, did I include Nick Diaz?
Well, that's the obvious one.
Did I include it in the 5? Oh, well, either way, I'm pretty sure that stat is true. He has 5-0 rematches. Okay, I'm about to ban some of these commenters. I'm just gonna put this one. Diaz did not quit. No, listen to Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler said it right. I hit him really hard. I understand why Nick lost the fight. That Nick didn't quit. Nick got punched in the face very hard. So and
he got punched in the face really hard a lot.
A
lot.
And
Nick landed more, but Robbie's meant more throughout the fight.
Nick has that. It can be a curse too for a fighter. That BJ Penn type chin, where it's really he just doesn't go out. There's no button on him. So you just have to keep hitting him till a ref, his corner, or this time Nick Diaz himself saved him from potential future long-term damage. So Nick Diaz did the right thing tonight. He fought especially for a guy that's been out for 7-something years, going against a guy like Robbie Lawler, super tough. And yeah. So all you Nick Diaz quit people, stop it.
It'll be interesting to matchmake for either of those guys moving forward, Lawler or Diaz.
I'm not gonna put that comment. Let me put this one talking about that fight still.
Did you watch when Robbie's corner told him between the second and third round, I know what you're doing, as in that Robbie was letting Nick put some offense for the sake of the audience.
Did you hear that?
Maybe
Robbie's having a little fun, and his corner was like, okay, stop having fun in there. It's time to win the fight. I think that's what that.
Yeah, I can see that, and Robbie even pretty much said that himself. Yeah. I think it was just more like Robbie was just, let's scrap. Let's just go out there and have a good time. And I think his team just probably reeled him back in, saying all right, dude, come on.
Still got to win.
10 weeks. We worked for 10 weeks. Come on, dude. Let's put him away and go have a beer.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you could tell Robbie was pretty upset about the weight, the non-weight cut, rather. But I think with a victory, I think water under the bridge for Robbie. So that's why I don't think he really wanted to bring up those feelings of that. But
I'll tell you what, if he took this fight on 3 weeks notice or 4 weeks notice, I think we would be having a different conversation right now. But the fact that he put 10 weeks away from his family, he was just like, I'm not going to make this all for naught. So whatever, 185, 205, whatever, I'll fight him. He's probably not happy about it, and I didn't realize that he knew about it a week before, that there was talks about doing it that way. So
the media, the public just found out later, I assume.
Yeah, he said he found out last Saturday that they were trying to do that already. So
okay.
So we'll see. I mean,
it
is what it is, Casey. It is what it is. Diaz versus Maia retirement fight. Well, they'd have to re-sign Maia.
No, wait. I forget. What's up with Maia? I can't remember.
I'm going to look this up. I'm 99% sure the UFC parted ways with him. Let me just make sure. Yep. Yeah. Damian Maia and Jimmy Rivera are on that same thing where they parted ways.
That's a bummer. I wonder what Nick Diaz's contract status is, actually. I wonder if he's I don't know. I don't think anyone knows. That'd be interesting. I don't know if he's a free agent or what's going on. I doubt
I'm sure he's not a free agent.
I doubt it too. But yeah, I mean that is a fun fight. Obviously it won't involve. We've seen Nick in so many battles on the feet. It would be nice to see Nick Diaz in a jiu-jitsu match, in a MMA jiu-jitsu match. So I think that that's cool. If the UFC can make it happen, that sounds interesting.
I don't know how you book a middleweight Nick Diaz moving forward, though. I just don't know.
Maya was
because there's some ideas.
Maya was a former middleweight too.
I mean, Maya would make sense, but he's not there. But just like moving forward, like who are you gonna match him up with at 185?
Nick Diaz. Fighting. Well, I don't know.
We're gonna throw him in there with like Abdul Razak Al-Hassan. Like you can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah, Nick's gonna have to be in that bit of a UFC Legends tour.
Yeah, and but there's not even a lot of legends left that would fight at 85. Condit retired. That would be the one. That would be the fight.
Yeah, Condit,
more than likely.
Condit's done. But Condit did. I'm pretty sure he's done. But he did imply that in the interview with Helwani that, hey, if you throw a bunch of bags of money at me, that changes everything. But it's the UFC, so who knows?
Yeah, I mean the only fight that would make any sense in my eyes is if he dropped to 170 and he fought Cerrone or something that. That makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. I do like that. Cowboy, I know he's been just kind of I don't follow his social media, but he's been radio silent as far as looking for a fight. I assume. Have you heard very much from him?
Yeah, he's probably just.
Yeah, just on his little ranch.
Living life right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's probably handling Robbie Lawler kind of handles it. When they call, if I like it, I'll fight.
Yeah, that's Nick Diaz versus Cowboy, Yeah. If they can make that happen. That seems like neither of those guys I think really have serious title aspirations. I know Nick said he wanted to fight Usman, but you know what I'm saying.
he would have been in the title conversation if he won today.
This is Nick Diaz. I'm a Nick Diaz mark. And I even had this. I was ready to open it tonight. I was ready to open it, but I didn't. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you feel like Nick wanted to be there tonight?
He's different. I don't know. I think he wanted. I do think he wanted to be there, but in a different way. I don't know. In a different way. I mean. He was fighting hard. He was fighting his butt off. That's freaking Robbie Lawler throwing bombs at you. That's scary. And he still, did the walk, got in there. He was throwing down. He was eating punches, and and the one he finally did eat, at the end, dropped him on his butt, and when Robbie refused to engage on the ground, I think Nick was like, yeah, that's a day. I think he wanted to be there, but but he wanted to be there for a different reason than I think in the past.
I know a lot of people have brought up the Brett Okamoto interview throughout the week, and they found there are many quotables in there that you can use to write articles. The one thing that really stuck out to me, and it hit me even harder watching the fight, was when he said, "I just don't want to live with regret. I don't want to think back 2 years from right now and regret not getting back in there and trying it." You know what I mean? And that's what I think we saw. I think Nick, the reason he wanted to be there, and I think the only reason he wanted to be there, was to prove to himself that he could get in a fight and just experience it again. And I think that's what we saw. I don't think we saw.
That's a fair analysis. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think those words rang completely true tonight. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think. We got bonuses.
Oh, I saw. I already saw it.
You already saw it. Damn it.
I was like, what?
No Dana White tonight?
What?
Oh man.
Oh, weird. That's
wow. I mean, I think I probably get it, but here we go. The bonuses, for those wondering, I think you guys know what the fight of the night is. It was the main event of the evening, Volkanovski versus Ortega. 2 performance of the night bonuses. One went to Christopher Dawkins, who improved to 4-0 as a UFC fighter with his 4th finish against Shamil Abdurakhimov, and Merab Dvalishvili gets the other bonus for his incredible comeback win over Marlon Moraes. That fight was insane. And it's going to be kind of forgotten about after the main event, but it was so good. Oh, what a crazy fight that was. And Marlon Moraes is both those guys are so friggin' tough.
You know who got robbed of 50K? Jessica Andrade.
Marlon Moraes.
Well, Marlon Moraes too. I felt he deserved. I think that deserved a special bonus. But I think Jessica Andrade absolutely deserved 50K. And I think
there's a lot of people. Matthew Semmelsberger got a 15-second knockout. I mean, I know the strength of schedule and stuff, but he got a 15-second knockout. Usually, that's like a guaranteed $50,000 when you get a 15-second knockout. But
I think the matchmakers knew the reason why. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to crap on Mr. Sano. He did his thing.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I know who deserves 50K too, or I hope he gets a big bonus. Jalen freaking Turner.
Damn.
First round submission over an undefeated Euros Medic. Woo, that was awesome. But yeah, congratulations to everyone. And
enjoy your money.
Man.
Tony versus Nick at 170 is interesting though. See, but it's the matter of Nick going down to 170. It doesn't seem like he has any interest in cutting that extra weight.
It's going to be up to if a guy like Tony just wants to fight at 85 and just because you want to get in the cage with Nick Diaz. Essentially 185 is open weight as far as like for not middleweights, for like welterweights and lightweights. 185 is just open weight. If Tony Ferguson came in, I'm sure he might come in like a 180. But that would still be passable by the commission.
So we're waiting on the two champions at this point. I assume we'll see Valentina Shevchenko first after her dominant win over Lauren Murphy, and then we'll hear from Alexander Volkanovski as well, who, again, I know we talked about this after the doubleheader last week. We talked about Anthony Smith and we talked about Phil Davis, but I think more than ever now, even higher than both of those guys, put some damn respect on Alexander Volkanovski's name. I mean, my God, what a performance tonight. What a freaking showing.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. It was just freaking awesome. Just what a fighter. And I'm kind of glad because I was kind of coming to this fight. I was kind of scratching my head a bit of the trash talk that Volk was saying during the build up to the fight. And he kind of admitted it, though, in the post presser. I mean, in the in-cage interview, he's like, "Yeah, I was trying to get in his head, stuff like that." Yep. So I was like, "All right," which you kind of suggested. And I was hoping that was true, but yeah, that's all. So he's like, "I didn't really work." I mean, he still almost beat me multiple times. God dang, what a freaking fight! Getting at that triangle, getting at that guillotine.
Ortega's walkout was good too. I liked the purge mask and the purge. That was pretty cool.
There's very few creative things you can do in the UFC with the walkouts and being stuck with having to wear the fight uniforms. But Ortega did the best, and it was a fun walkout for sure.
I had a buddy text me. He goes, "Oh, what do you?" He was like, "Oh, that walkout was awesome. What do you think Volkanovski's gonna do?" I was like, "He's gonna walk out with the flag and do nothing because that's just not his style." Imagine Volkanovski was like Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania, and he came out from the ceiling and took a zip line all the way to the cage. That'd be so un-Volkanovski-like, but so yeah, we're waiting on them. No Dana White. I assume we know why, because he doesn't want the freaking John Jones questions. Which, by the way, he shouldn't get anyways, because he already responded to the John Jones situation yesterday. Dude. So you can find that on MMAfighting.com.
Did he talk to us personally?
No, he did. He did like a scrum with the TV partners. He did scrum with TV partners.
Those are TV partners. Those people all have vested interest in the UFC. We're just independent media. Come on. Why is he scared of the internet? Come on, Dana.
Yep, Dana blasted him. Said we can't even get this guy to Vegas for 12 hours to get inducted into the Hall of Fame. Like he basically just said like John Jones should never come to Vegas again because the place just gets him in trouble all the time.
I think that's not the real issue. The real issue is if domestic violence, and if that happened, then
allegedly
alleged domestic violence.
Allegedly.
And if this is true, well, you know what? We were talking about 266. We were talking about 266.
Yeah.
We'll have plenty of time to talk about John Jones. Sorry, I don't want to get sidetracked.
Yeah, you probably.
But it is a
bummer
bummer that Dana White isn't there to
But that's
talk
why.
about a great
That's
card.
why.
You know,
And
if that
I'm
is
sure
why,
he would get Aljamain Sterling questions too, and he probably wanted to avoid that as well.
that's his job, man. How you gonna pay for
You're
that
the
fancy
freaking
gym?
promoter.
Yeah, how you gonna pay for that fancy gym? All right.
Yeah, that gym is insane. The Rock
my
doesn't even have that.
My favorite
gym.
part was the pool. The pool with
The
the
lap
current.
pool?
Yeah, the lap. I was like, that's pretty. Okay, that's pretty cool. All the other stuff's like, all right, whatever. You know, we got some UV light thing, I don't know, whatever. But actually the cold dip and the sauna and all the pool stuff was like, oh man, jerk, being way rich. All right,
super rich.
super.
The
rich.
thing that irked you the most is like, all right, so this fridge over here has like all your junk food and ice cream, but this fridge over here, 6 feet away, has all your healthy stuff, your fruits and your vegetables. I'm like, that's so baller. Have 2 fridges in your kitchen. Like most people have like a fridge in their kitchen and then maybe one in the garage, but not like right next to each other. So that's just baller. That's gangster.
All right.
Any other thoughts on the card?
Yeah, just hit us up with your thoughts in the comments on the card. Anything you want us to highlight? Let me see what we got here. Yes, allegedly. But he was arrested for allegedly.
Yes, there was a little bit of an update. John Jones did not appear in court today. He will appear in court later next month, but a judge did find probable cause for the arrest to move forward with everything. So what else we got? Congratulations to Diaz protege Nick Maximoff for his good win over Cody Brundage. That dude is a wrestling machine. Cody Brundage is a really good wrestler, and Brundage took the fight on a couple of his nose, but Maximoff is super talented. He's 7-0, and he's super young, so that's definitely a guy you got to keep an eye on. You mentioned Jalen Turner. Great performance. Back-to-back submission wins for Jalen Turner. Good on him.
I don't know if you. Oh, here we go. The most
Queen
dominant champion in the UFC.
Valentina Shevchenko.
Regardless of gender.
Another flawless performance, it seemed like. How did you feel about the way things played out tonight?
Feels good. I working very hard for this fight. I didn't expect easy fight. And Lauren, she's a tough opponent. She's physically very, very strong, but I wanted to play my game. And, kind of like my ultimate goal as a martial artist to reach the level when your opponents, when they fighting each other, they looks like furious, powerful, very strong. But when they fight me, it's kind of like they cannot touch you, but you can finish them. It's kind of like what I want being as a martial artist, untouchable. This is kind of like next level of martial artist.
You feel like you accomplished that tonight?
I'm on my way.
Anything that she did surprise you? Obviously, your speed was very much an advantage. You showed some great grappling as well. I mean, was there anything that happened in there that did surprise you at all?
Actually, no. I was expecting more pressure, and I truly expected more pressure. And it was kind of like first round, I was like, okay, maybe it was kind of like a trap, and she was kind of like waiting for her moment. Second round, then I was like, okay, if you don't want, I will go for it.
I just wonder if it's difficult for you, because I do feel like the expectations are so high. Like, I heard the crowd start to boo a little bit. It's like you have to go out there and score a highlight reel in the first round, or it's not okay. Is that a difficult expectation level for you to live up to?
No, it's not, because I understand if I gonna think about it and it's gonna affect me during the fight, it's gonna affect my performance, and sometimes it can affect not in the best way. You're gonna rush to do something, and this is a mistake. So I learned that I cannot just follow with the boo from the crowd. I have to do my thing, because potentially the finish gonna come. They just have to wait.
Obviously, as a champion, you don't have to make matchups, right? They have to come to you. But are there names that you want to fight? Like, are there things? I know you're looking about bettering yourself as a martial artist, but there are opponents that you want to face moving forward?
I'm ready to fight anyone. In flyweight divisions, there are so many strong fighters. I didn't know how the fight gonna be against Jessica Andrade, Cynthia Calvillo. If Cynthia was kind of like top level, but Jessica just like smashed her. So I don't know what's gonna next. Who's the next opponent? But I can say that in flyweight division there is every time more and more names coming up. So I'm ready to fight all of them.
Nice. I guess last thing for me, we'll find out the name, but how about when do you think you want to fight again? Are you taking the rest of this year off, or I mean, what's the plan for you moving forward?
I'm pretty healthy. I just have small things that after the fight during the training camp, and it's gonna be fixed like very quickly, easy. So right now, what is next for me? It's next Saturday fight of my sister. So she is coming in her fight week, and I will be in her corner supporting her. So she gonna do all the same, and yeah, I don't know what's when it's like next, because I'm ready to fight tomorrow. But what UFC have for me, it's different.
Valentina right here. Valentina, when you obviously train so that the fight is easy. You've talked about that before. But when you're out there in the cage and you are performing at this level, do you feel a higher level of focus? Do you feel something special when you're out there and you are at the top of your game?
You cannot feel. You feel something, but you cannot fall in this feeling, because when you're starting like the side things started affect you, and you start to like pay more attention, for example, to the crowd, to some details, to the person who's sitting like over there, and it's kind of like you losing perspective of the fight, and you can lose your moment to win the fight, to finish the fight, or like whatever. That's why when you are there inside of the octagon, you don't have right to think about something else, about your performance, about like how your opponent feel. You have just work. You have to work and toward your victory. After the job is done, now you can realize what it was, how it was, what you felt, or something like that. But during that moment, you don't have a right to think about it.
When you go back and watch your fights, what do you look at? Like when you see a performance like tonight or like your performance against Jessica Andrade, do you see a lot of the things that you want to improve? Do you ever impress yourself with what you were able to do? What do you see?
Every time. There is, for martial artists, there is no time to stop and think, oh, I'm the greatest one. I'm the best one. If you're retired, you can say that. But if you're active fighter, you don't have a choice only to develop yourself, like to be better every single day. Even if you're good, you can even add something more into your game and be better. So I think as a martial artist, everyone had to have this mindset.
You obviously grew up in Kyrgyzstan. You represent Latin America. They put you on the broadcast. Tu español, perfecto. ¿Representas uno? Do you represent one over the other? Because obviously you live so many places and you represent so many when you do all these public appearances on TV and everything.
Every single country where I live, when I travel, it takes special place in my heart. In Peru, in Latin America, I lived for 8 years, and definitely the culture is very close to me. I grew up in Kyrgyzstan, very beautiful mountain country, and very like deep in traditions. And I respect all countries like traditions, the culture, people, and I just want to experience more from my travel, to know, not just come there and take a picture and say, okay, I've been in this country, that's okay, but I want to really know how it's like there, what people think and how they live, what they eat, and I think this is the best school of life.
In the third round, when you threw that head kick and you almost hit her like you hit Jessica, it seemed like right then and there you kind of knew like I can get her out of there. Was that the moment when you kind of like push the button on the gas pedal?
It was kind of like what round it was? Third, fourth round. What round?
Huh?
What round the
Third
kick
round.
was?
Third round
Third
when you do the
round.
head kick.
It's kind of like was this point when I started to accelerate a little bit, and I knew it's kind of like third, fourth, fifth. It's kind of like when you're starting to put more speed and more pressure, and definitely it would be very good to finish the fight like that with another head kick KO, but it didn't happen that time, and instead it was a hook, right hook, that was kind of like leaded to the finish of the fight.
I know you cleaned out the division and everything at 125. Would you ever go back to 135 to get 2 belts at 2 different weight classes, regardless if Amanda's there or whatever? Is that something that you want to do before you get out, or you're 125 forever? You're just going to line them up and knock them down?
You know, many people they started in one weight class, and then kind of like, oh, I want to explore what is there, what is here. And in my experience, it was different because I didn't have a choice to fight in my own weight class, and I had to fight 135 with the bigger girls who cut in their weight from 160 pounds, 150 pounds, and my walk weight is 135. So I just cut like 10 pounds for 125. It's nothing. And 125 live weight, it's my natural weight class. I feel powerful. I feel that my speed on point as like the best. It's just my weight class, and I am happy that I don't have to. I just can think about my performance the best way what I can do, because I fought so many times in 135, and now I have choice when I can fight and do like amazing thing in my real weight class. Why I don't have to do that? But also I open for any opportunity that, for example, UFC tomorrow will call and say, okay, Valentina, we have this fight. Would you accept? I open for anything.
Do you want that trilogy? You said like your eyes lit up when you thought about that.
I open for it. I never was choosing my opponents. I'm not the like person who, okay, this name looks good to me, I will fight her. No, this name's kind of like not good, I'm not fighting her. No, they have a name for me, I accept the fight because I want to fight with the best ones. With the best ones in the world. This is how you prove that you are the best, right? And if like destiny wants to make it happen, I'm here right now. Here.
That leads me to another question. When you see these chicks here in fight week or around, can you tell if they really on your level? Because it seems like you have them mentally defeated before they get in there because they need their personal best just to compete with you. How does it feel to have that? I won't say power, but it seems like you kind of know midway through fight week you click. Is like I would say when we had the press conference on Thursday, it clicked. And you like, oh, I got her. I can tell by your body language. Is that pretty accurate?
You know, I cannot say that it's. They are not coming already broken for the fight. You know, when it's starting, the break, it's starting when their strategy for the fight doesn't work. If they have like, okay, I was thinking that I can do that, and they starting to realize it's not happening, and I play my game. They wanted to play their game, but it's like not happening. I just play my game, and this is when it starts, the breakage. So it's not before the fight. It's during the fight, in the first seconds of the fight.
And final question for me: are you pound for pound the best women fighter in the world, in your opinion?
And what is your opinion?
Hey, you're greatness to me. Hey, let's put a gold jacket on you. You got the Hall of Fame. They'll sign you up in the future.
You answered your question.
Valentina, to your right over here. With this win, it's your sixth title defense, and with that, you join Amanda Nunes and Ronda Rousey as the only 3 women to have gotten that many title defenses. Is that special for you?
For me, what is special for me, to discover how far can I go, to discover what is my limit as a human, what is my limit as a martial artist. I don't want to put like numbers like goals. This is what I want, like 10-time defense, 12-time defense. I will finish my career at certain age. So when you put the number in front of you, you kind of like starting to walk towards the end. because once you reach it, what's next? You will have to find some more numbers, right? But as a martial artist, I want to discover what is my limit exactly, because I don't want to work toward my end. I'm right at the in the beginning of my way, and I want to see what is there, what is waiting for me, and I just to very love to the lifestyle what I have, like training hard, competing, to feel this insane energy from the fans after the fight, in the fight. It's just like martial arts giving so much to me. So I never will be so deeply grateful. I'm really so grateful to martial arts because I'm the person what I am right now because of martial arts.
Very well said. And you mentioned your sister's fight coming up. I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on her opponent, Casey O'Neill? You know, a young flyweight coming up herself. What do you think about her?
Oh, she's good. She's young. She's hungry. But my sister, she's different level, and she's trained very hard for this fight, and she will put in the great performance because I saw her training. I was in her training camp, and she's in amazing shape right now. So she gonna do everything right, and she gonna go to the victory as well.
And I'm curious, do you have any next travel plans lined up, and what the next spot's going to be?
um, I was mentioning that I was starting my training camp living on the boat and traveling in Puget Sound, Washington State. And kind of like when we get notice about the fight, we had to come back to Las Vegas because it was time already to have the second hard part, like already trainings. So I really want to go and explore more of Puget Sound because it's amazing, beautiful place. And definitely boating. It's my goal to reach like next level of boating, next sail maybe. So I will go towards that.
Valentina, aquí en español, por favor, felicidades por tu victoria. Son 6 defensas del título. ¿Tú te sientes invencible?
Yo me siento que tengo que trabajar más, siempre, más que todos. Para ser invencible, tú tienes que trabajar más duro que todo el mundo. No importa si eres campeona o no, para seguir estar en el lugar donde estás, tú no puedes relajar y pensar, oh, soy invencible, nadie puede tocarme. Porque en segundo, cuando lo piensas, tú puedes perder todo. Y esta es la idea que no me deja descansar, no descansar como pensar que soy invencible, ¿cierto? Pero esto es que me siempre motiva a entrenar más y más duro. Y también mi equipo, mi entrenador, maestro Pavel, él tiene misma vista para cómo un deportista tiene que entrenar. Siempre adelante, siempre desarrollarse como la persona y como artista marcial.
Tú se lo dedicaste a la gente de América Latina. ¿Tú sientes que cada día, a pesar de que eres de Kirguistán, de Bielorrusia, pero acabas de decir que viviste en Perú 8 años, ¿tú sientes que el fanático latinoamericano te apoya cada día más?
Claro que sí, porque para mí América Latina siempre va a tener un espacio en mi corazón muy especial, porque cuando nosotros vivimos 8 años en Latinoamérica, nosotros viajamos en diferentes países y cultura de Latinoamérica me encanta, muy abierta la gente, la comida siempre es perfecta y nosotros viajamos, estuvimos en Perú, viajamos a Brasil, Argentina, a Paraguay, Uruguay, también estuvimos muchas veces en México, tenemos muy buenos amigos en México y claro que me encanta la cultura del idioma porque yo creo que español es un idioma muy, muy bonita.
Y ya lo último, поздравляю тебя с победой.
Спасибо большое.
Valentina, right here. On your walk back to the locker room, you made a detour to the ring girls. They seemed surprised, as many of us were. What was that all about?
Beautiful women is a decoration of any event, and I want people to know that. and no one have right to say that they are useless, because they are on the place where they have to be. They were here at the beginning, and it's like, no matter, you will come in any event, you will see beautiful women, and you as a man, like everyone, enjoy it. It's kind of like beautiful, right? And this is decoration. That's why this is my message, that beautiful woman, it's a decoration of any event.
Many of us felt very blessed to get to be there tonight for this entire fight card and to watch you perform as well. You seem to derive joy from every aspect of the evening, on the walk back, to the ring girls, to taking selfies with the fans, in the entire process, because we've heard from so many fighters recently that don't like to fight. George St. Pierre said during the Hall of Fame he never wanted to actually fight. We heard what Nick said. What do you derive the most joy from the beginning of training camp to walking back there and getting back to the locker room?
Entire process. You cannot just like say, okay, it's the best moment when your hands raised up and you are feeling that like, oh yes, you did what you. Of course, it feels so amazing. It's so powerful, the feeling. But actually, it's like the entire process. Hard trainings day by day. Every time you are waking up and you have to push yourself to your limits, but you have to do it for the best performance. And every day you kind of like learning something else. You are learning more as a martial artist. For example, also I think the idea to be in martial arts for a long time, it all depends how you can manage your fight and your rest. And for example, my team, my coach Pavel, and he has like the perfect kind of like combination where we train, then we travel, you can rest, you can train in the travel, but it's not the same type when you are training like in the training camp. And in my example, you can see exactly how it can work. 28 years in martial arts. Now my opponents, some of them, they have like 23 years old or some 22. So even like doesn't have that age as I do martial arts. So it tells that the age, it's not a like issue. It's not something that puts you the limit. It's your limit. It's in your head. And if you don't put any limits for you, you just go and explore how far you can go. This is what I do day by day, exploring.
Valentina, felicidades con el triunfo. Has podido llegar a lo más alto de tu categoría, de tu carrera. ¿Cuáles eran las metas que tenías cuando inició tu carrera en el UFC? ¿Y has podido alcanzarlas o todavía te quedan cosas para...?
Claro que sí, la meta principal desde inicio era para mí ser la campeona de UFC, porque UFC es la organización de MMA más grande de todo el mundo. Y yo creo que en general, como el deporte, como artes marcial, MMA es deporte número 1 en todo el mundo. No es boxeo, no es algo diferente, es MMA. Y claro que ser parte de UFC es un privilegio también para cada deportista. Y mi meta principal era ser la campeona de UFC. Yo lo alcancé y ahora quiero mantenerlo más... no sé por cuánto, no sé, solamente quiero seguir ganando y hacer mi trabajo bien como puedo.
Muy bien. Y finalmente, ¿cuál es tu rutina con tu familia, con tu hermana, con tu equipo? ¿Qué tienes para celebrar? ¿Qué haces cuando no estamos contigo? ¿Vas a un club, discoteca, cierta comida? ¿Qué es lo que te hace sonreír ya que tienes todo en alto?
No soy la persona de discotecas, no tengo fiestas, no me encanta, no me gusta porque no es mi estilo. Soy persona de naturaleza, me gusta mucho cocinar y siempre nosotros cuando, por ejemplo, con amigos, nosotros cocinamos en la casa y me gusta disfrutar el proceso, no solamente cuando te sirven la comida, tú ya comes y vas, no, cuando tú disfrutas de todo el proceso. Y no sé, me parece que es lo mejor porque tú puedes conversar con tus amigos, de verdad conocerlos y no solamente para venir y decir hola, hola, ¿cómo estás? Y ya te vas.
De acuerdo, pues felicidades, muchas gracias por todo y que viva Shevchenko.
Gracias.
Is it true that there's a rumor that when you retire, you're going to work as an interpreter at the United Nations?
Who told that? I didn't hear it yet.
No, you speak beautifully, though. So, how many languages do you speak?
I speak English, Russian, Spanish, and I'm learning Thai.
Well, you do an excellent job. You speak almost as well as you fight.
Yes, I very like the learning languages because I think that this perspective, if you know how to speak with like local people, it's kind of like you can explore, you can understand the traditions, the culture of the country. It's not kind of like, as I mentioned before, come in and take picture and like go. It's kind of like tourist. I don't like to be a tourist. I like to be a person who live in the country. And if I, for example, Thailand for me have every time like special place in my heart. I have how many, like 12 world championship only in Muay Thai, and like plus mixed martial arts and kickboxing K1, it's all together 17 times world champion. So but Muay Thai, it's every time have like a very special place for me. That's why I want to learn language, to understand the people more, understand their tradition, understand their culture, understand how to cook their food, and just to speak with people.
Valentina. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone asked you if you're going to move up to 135. Is it possible for you to go down to strawweight?
It means like to starve, not have good food, not enjoy the food, and I could do that, but it's like I don't enjoy the process. I find myself the best shape 125. I know more a lot of straw weights, they have like 135 and go down to 115, but I feel 125 it's the perfect weight class for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hola Valentina, primero que nada, felicidades en otra gran victoria. Te quería preguntar, cuando tú no estás peleando, ¿tú ves UFC, boxeo? ¿Te gusta ver este deporte? ¿O cuando estás afuera no peleando, te gusta hacer otras cosas?
Me gusta ver peleas, me gusta ver UFC, claro que sí, siempre lo veo. Y también me gusta hacer otras cosas.
¿Quiénes son algunas de las personas que te gustan ver cuando tú no estás peleando? ¿Quién tú sigues y quién tú seguías cuando estabas subiendo? ¿Quién te gustaba mirar?
De verdad, nunca no tenía una persona que estoy, o si está peleando, yo voy a ver las peleas. Es que siempre hay, a mí me gusta ver la técnica, porque no importa, tienes un nombre grande o todavía no grande, puedes mostrar algo diferente. Y para estar en un nivel que siempre tú tienes que observar nuevas técnicas, algunas estrategias nuevas, tú tienes que mirar las peleas. Y yo cuando veo las peleas, yo lo veo especialmente de este lado. No solamente estar como un fan, pero como un profesional que tiene que estar al día con la técnica moderna.
Okay. Y creo que normalmente tú haces tu baile cuando ya te han dicho que has ganado, pero esta vez como que lo hiciste rápidamente. ¿Fue por alguna razón que no esperaste como normalmente lo haces?
Tú sabes, yo cuando... mi tradición de hacer este baile, eso viene de mis peleas de Muay Thai. Y cuando peleé en Muay Thai, yo siempre salía con este baile, con la música y bailando al ring. Pero en MMA nosotros decidimos cambiar para celebrar la victoria. Y como esta pelea, la victoria ya estaba como TKO, technical knockout, entonces no hay dudas, por eso ya...
Entiendo. Y mi última pregunta, obviamente tú estás peleando muy bien, sin duda alguna puedes pelear por mucho tiempo, pero ¿tienes en mente más o menos cuánto tiempo tú crees que vas a estar en el deporte y qué son algunas de las cosas que tú piensas que te gustarían hacer después que termines con tu carrera?
Esa es la pregunta que hace unos minutos he respondido. Cuando tú pones la meta así, tú pones la edad así, y ya voy a pelear hasta esta edad. Entonces tú pones como un límite para tú mismo como peleadora, como persona. Y si tú pones un límite, esto significa tú empiezas a trabajar hasta tu final. Y yo no quiero trabajar a mi final, yo quiero desarrollarme como peleadora, yo quiero ver hasta dónde puedo llegar, hasta dónde es el límite, porque cómo tú puedes de verdad ver en qué mi cuerpo está capaz, qué puede hacer. Entonces no hay datos, no hay cuándo, no hay dónde, solamente vivir mi vida que yo vivo y hacer lo que me encanta hacer.
Gracias, Valentina.
Gracias. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. There she is. Valentina Shevchenko after another dominant victory. And for those who are like, oh, we don't see enough of Valentina Shevchenko, you got 30 minutes of her in a press conference scrum.
In multiple languages.
So many languages. But she is she's a superhero.
Who knew she's a defender of the ring girls? Good for her.
Yes.
I didn't see
Shevchenko
that.
versus Nurmagomedov.
What was I wasn't watching her walk out super close. What was the situation they were talking about? She turned to the ring girls or something? I don't even know what the reference was.
No, I guess after the win, instead of like walking straight back, she walked over to the ring girls and like said something to them.
Oh, okay.
Like very positive. Like you ladies are like important decoration for these events. Like you're beautiful and all that stuff. So good on her. Throwing some support towards the ring card girls.
A little positivity. Good on her.
We are awaiting the arrival of the UFC featherweight champion of the world, Alexander Volkanovski. Apparently he had to get stitched up. He is doing his interviews with the TV partners right now, and then he will be here, I'm told. So we'll see. Maybe we can go up to the peeps.
Yeah, drop in some comments, or questions or anything, and something I can put. Guys, it's just trash in this comment section. Questions, please.
Anything positive or somewhat intelligent about the fights.
I might have to go up a little bit. see what was said a few hours ago. Oh, you know what? Here, talk about here. Oops, too small. Hold on a second. Sorry.
What about Murphy's Corner? What are your thoughts on their feedback to Murphy after each round? Yeah, man. Like, I know fighters are all different. Like, and it's like anything. It's like when you're a sports coach. Like, you know, I remember like playing high school baseball, and you know, I would thrive on the coach telling me I was a piece of shit. Like if I did something bad and he was like, "You suck," like it got me better. There are other players who are not, who do not take criticism like that, and they just need like a good little positive pump up speech. In the fight game, I think it's okay to do that early on, but after the third round where you're just getting lit up, like you have to be honest at some point. And you saw it in the Ortega corner against Volkanovski. Like they weren't saying like, dude, you are so tough. Like way to bleed, bro. They're like, dude, you need to get your ass in gear and try to finish this guy or you're going to lose this fight. And I feel like we didn't get that at any point from the Murphy corner. And yeah, I felt that was kind of rough.
My counter argument would be it didn't matter what the heck they were going to say. They could have gave her Valentina's, like, I don't know, her meanest secrets ever, like, and something that would just crushed her. She would have still lost. It's like, I get why they did that. I mean, she was. I mean, Valentina said it like kind of like after about 30 seconds, you kind of go, all right, we know. I think we got a feeling how this fight's gonna go. Yeah, I don't. It was her husband. That's her husband too. That was her husband, right? I think
he's one of the corners.
Yeah, I thought that was her husband saying that.
But it's like Crew Bob, who usually like is. With
It wasn't Crew Bob. I know it wasn't Crew Bob.
Bob wasn't there tonight.
No. It wasn't his voice. The reference. To
oh
this.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was her husband. And you know what? Hey, those are the same coaches that got her to the dance. You know, and they know her better than anyone else. So I'm not gonna criticize it too much. And like, well, I don't know. What else can you tell her? Is like, rush in there and catch another counter? I don't know. So
I wonder what James Krause would have said. Because it wouldn't have been that.
Yeah.
Did you hear Krause? Poor Cody Brundage takes a fight on two days' notice, and Krause just lights his ass up.
But you know what? But did it work though? I mean,
yeah, he fought better in the third round.
Yeah,
I mean it didn't do much because once Maximov took him down, but
yeah,
he lit a fire under his ass. He went out and tried to finish the fight. So
I just don't think. Yeah, I think we're all wrong and all right when we criticize what the coaches say to the fighters. And a fighter that's very much losing, and it doesn't matter who is in their corner, that they are going to lose that fight. You know.
Yeah,
that's my
but
feeling.
Who knows? Maybe they could have been like, all right, listen, good job. Like, you're still in it, but you need to, like, do more. Not just like, hey, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. Like, yeah. Mustache Man, notice my question, Senpai. Is Nick going to talk? No.
No.
You heard Nick talk after the fight. From what we understand, there was no like hospitalization or anything like that.
Yeah, sorry.
They just left.
Yeah, like we're good.
They just left. They're like, yeah, thanks for the cheese. We're out. Peace out.
The fact that we got a post-fight interview from Nick, honestly, I think good job on the UFC production crew, and I think we got enough. I mean,
yeah.
Nick.
What else could he say?
Yeah, you saw Nick. He kind of said the same three things like, over and over a little bit. Then then eventually he kind of found that thought he wanted to say, and then he was talking about who made this fight. You know, it's Nick.
But no excuses.
Yeah.
But I did like when he was like, I did like when he said he was bleeding. He goes, yeah, I didn't want to make I didn't want to make a mess with the blood. It's like,
he was so sweet. He was so like he almost seemed childlike in there a little bit. I felt.
Yeah. It was very Joe Pesci like in Goodfellas after you put the boots to that guy, and he was like, I didn't want to get blood on your floor. That's kind of like what Nick Diaz reacted to.
I will say it felt even though Nick lost and lost bad toward the end especially, he seemed content with the loss, like accepted it and stuff. It wasn't just like an angry Nick. It was just like it was nice not seeing him angry. He seemed, even though he lost, he seemed to be a bit at peace and understood what happened. And I think knowing Nick's, Nick. We all know. Nick. I think it's a positive. As far as a loss that he got finished in. So I feel that So we won't.
I had it. He kept saying, "I had it coming."
Had it coming. Yeah. So Nick is not coming. But
yes, Nick is coming to a hotel room or a bar or somewhere outside of the T-Mobile Arena. Yeah, he's done enough, I think.
Yeah.
Volkan Ortega round 3, round of the year in the UFC. It's up there.
The 2 best rounds of the year might have been tonight.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
2 best rounds of the year might have been tonight. Yep.
Yeah, Merab and Moraes was the round of the year up until the main event, which just tells you how good the card was.
Yeah, great card on paper, and it delivered.
Who? By the way, let me just say this, and you guys can react in the comments if you want. I've said this 5,000 times, but this is like after that fight, this means way more. Who in the blue hell is going to want to fight Merab Dvalishvili now? Like after all that, after seeing him take shots and get dropped and like just get pounded out for a good chunk of that first round, to see him come back, end the round on top, and then just pulverize poor Marlon Moraes for the entire second round.
Not only
it's insane.
Did he not end the round on top? He actually was like dominating that round. Wasn't you almost finished
finishing the fight?
He almost finished. He almost went from an 8-10 to winning the fight in the first round. Unreal.
Oh my god.
And
who wants to fight that guy? No one's gonna fight him now. Nobody.
Poor Marlon Moraes. He's clearly such a talented, violent bantamweight. But unfortunately, after about 90 seconds, he's just not the same fighter. In the first 90 seconds, good Lord, he is a dangerous man in there. And but yeah,
once he clips you, he just unloads. Yeah, that's
like, it. You know that fight? I mean, it reminded me of a hyper version of his loss to Cejudo. Honestly, remember he had a pretty good first round against Cejudo in his championship fight, and then I think he just got tired. So and then Cejudo just took over, landed a couple big knees in the clinch, and the problem that keeps Moraes from being just a great fighter to a championship fighter is he just, once that adversity hits him, it's all downhill. He's just, that's a bummer for Marlon Moraes. I think he's such a good talent, and we saw him at one of my picks. I picked Marlon to win this fight by first round KO, and I was like, ooh, I did it, and I was like, ooh, no, I didn't. That was a bad pick.
It was just
insane. Yeah, but that's freaking Merab,
Like you can't even and here's the thing, like you can't even blame Marlon for that.
No.
Like even Paul Felder was like, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Like when you hit a guy like that, especially at 135 pounds, like he could have hit anybody else in that division like that, and there's a really good chance the fight's over. Like he's putting them away, and that's why he emptied the tank. Like he had Merab hurt so bad. But good Lord.
And if that fight would have been stopped in the first round, we would have gone off Marlon's offense. We would have gone, okay, great. It's like, wow, he stopped Merab. It seemed like I think he got dropped twice. I don't know. He just got hit, dropped once hard, and then
he got hammered right away, with big shots. And Merab just walked right through them. So then when he got dropped, I was like, okay, no human being can take these kind of shots over and over again. But Merab's like, hold my beer, bro. Watch this. And he gets back. Please talk about Marlon Moraes' steep fall from grace. It's quite shocking.
I don't think it's steep.
Is it?
I think. Sorry.
I don't think so either. Like, does it say more about how good 135 is more than how bad Marlon Moraes is? Because I don't think Marlon Moraes is a bad fighter at all.
At all.
I think he beats most guys out
from
10 to 15 and on.
Yeah,
from 10 to 15 and on. I think he beats a lot of those guys.
And he came within one more punch or a different ref from winning tonight. So
and look who he's lost to. Look who he's lost to. He lost to Henry Cejudo. He lost to Corey Sandhagen, who is probably, at least the front runner to fight for an interim title. A lot of people thought he'd beat TJ Dillashaw, who a lot of people think is the best bantamweight in the world. Then he lost to Rob Font, who is a win away from fighting for the title, a very talented guy. And now he loses to Merab, who could be the best 135-pounder in the world, but no one's going to fight him. So we're never going to know the answer to that question because Marlon Moraes isn't going to fight. Not Marlon Moraes. Merab Dvalishvili is not going to fight for a title until 2026 because no one's going to want to fight him. It's just he's fought really tough competition. It's not like he went out there and lost to a rookie on 3 days' notice who stepped up, who never fought in the UFC before tonight. He lost to Merab Dvalishvili, who just steamrolls everybody.
Yeah, I don't. It's not a steep fall from grace. I would say it's a fall because
sure.
a lot of I'm included. I think a lot of us felt that Marlon Moraes, I picked him to beat Cejudo. I picked him. I think I picked Sanhagen. But regardless, I picked him to beat Cejudo. And there was a time I did think Marlon Moraes was the best 135-pounder in the world. And I thought, but there's something not there that makes him a championship fighter. But obviously, he's an amazing guy. I mean, amazing fighter. Don't know him. But, we haven't talked about it at all. Jessica Andrade.
Yeah,
wow.
That was nasty.
Dude, I was just like, it reminds me of the DC line. There are levels to this game. And the power that Andrade brings at the flyweight division, Cynthia was not ready for that power. She was landing her shots, but it didn't matter because her shots weren't affecting Andrade, and anything Andrade landed, you could tell everything affected Calvillo. And to point me, that fight didn't look competitive. I mean, and that's just, we know Cynthia Calvillo is better than that, but wow, just a bad night for her. Great night for Jessica Andrade.
Yeah.
Yeah, she almost made it too easy that it wasn't impressive in a weird way. One of those fights.
Yeah, that was. She's so good. She's just so good and so powerful.
Yeah,
and she knows how to pace herself too.
Yeah,
she can go 15 minutes now. You saw it in the second Rose fight. If that fight was 5 rounds, Andrade probably beats Rose.
I forgot how close that fight was. And she also said that it looks like she's willing to go back to 115 too. Who is the clown of the mustache? My name is Casey. Sorry. I can read them. I'm not a clown. Why are you being so mean, YouTube commenters? I can read these, all right, people? I have feelings.
People are so this is what a vast difference between the pre-fight show where
I know the pre-fight show was all like, I'm excited for the fights. What's your favorite fight? Who do you think is going to win by tonight? Now it's all like, you suck.
Listen, I get it. You came here for a press conference, and no one's here.
No one's here.
we got no Dana. We got Robbie Lawler, who is Robbie Lawler, and then we got 30 minutes of Shevchenko, and now we're waiting for Volkanovski. We're just trying to fill time.
Yeah. Someone asked, just answer your questions. Where's Dana?
Where's Dana? Dana's on Twitter ripping apart Oscar De La Hoya right now. So go check him out on Twitter.
But not actually defending or arguing against what Oscar is actually accusing him of.
Yeah.
Though, no misdirection. No misdirection. Everyone's going to fall for it, too.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone's going to fall for it.
We'll probably write about it. Why the hell not?
Oh, we'll write about it for sure.
It's the only thing we're going to hear from Dana.
Yeah.
But listen, we're not surprised. We're not surprised. We literally talked about this in our reaction to the John Jones arrest. Will Dana show up at the press conference? There's a reason why we asked that question, because Dana already addressed the John Jones stuff. He's going to show up here knowing that he's still going to get asked about it. He's probably going to get asked about Aljamain Sterling. He doesn't want to, and we're not going to talk about UFC 266 anymore. So I get it. Take a presser off. Rob versus Font. That fight makes no sense for Rob Font right now.
But you got to fight. You just,
No. Rob's in the Jose Aldo, Corey Sandhagen, TJ Dillashaw conversation. He's not in the Merab Dvalishvili conversation right now. He's not.
Who is in the Merab conversation then?
Pedro Munoz is in the Merab Dvalishvili conversation. That's the fight.
I did think that, because since Merab, I mentioned this earlier, Merab fought someone ahead of him. I think as a courtesy, now you fight someone behind you, and I think Pedro would be that person.
Pedro, or you do Dominic Cruz. Those are the two fights.
Ooh, I like Dominic Cruz. That would be cool. I like
Cruz trying to solve that puzzle would be really interesting.
Yeah, I like that fight. That's a pretty cool fight, actually. Yeah,
that's
I like
the
it
fight.
better. Yeah, stylistically, I think it's gonna be a fun. Yeah, that's my fight.
Yeah, either one of those two.
Job,
that's
Eck.
it.
Yeah, I like that.
It's like I host a matchmaking show or something.
Yeah.
So give you a little taste. What is next for Marlon Moraes? Marlon Moraes, I think they'll keep him around, because how could you not after
I hope they do.
That
would be but UFC's UFC, so who knows?
I know that it's not a ranked fighter, Him and Sean O'Malley would be ridiculous.
Yes, it would be. If I'm Sean O'Malley, based on what he says in his interviews, unless he gets a big pay bump, there's no reason for Sean O'Malley to take that fight. Unfortunately, for Marlon Moraes, for us, because I think it'll be a great fight. But for Sean,
but he wants to fight for the title, which is he wanted the interim title fight against Petr Yan.
Well, that's how you do it. Come on, that's the smartest way to do it.
Rob Font. He called out Rob Font after he beat Chris Patino. I mean, it's just, to be able to crawl around in Sean O'Malley's head, what an adventure that would be.
Hey,
Good Lord.
he's playing the game right, because people love Sean O'Malley. They talk about him. He moves the needle, yet he fights no one of ranking significance. I mean, people forget we fought Chris Patino. He was supposed to fight freaking Louis Smolka, a 25er, an unranked 25er moving to 35. It wasn't like he had a big name opponent in front of him already.
Smolka's been at 35 for a while.
Well, but clearly unranked. Like in the probably not top 30.
I liked that fight. I really liked that fight too. Because when Smolka's that guy that, like, when he's just got unlimited potential, but it's just really hard mentally for him to get there, because the guy just gets in his own way a lot, and he admits this. So I'm not just throwing this out there. I've done many interviews with Louis Smolka over the years, but when he's on, he's very tough to beat.
Oh, of course.
So I really liked the idea of that fight. Marlon Moraes versus like Montel Jackson or Kyler Phillips, somebody like that. That's the kind of fights he's going to be fighting right now.
I think he already got booked, man. But definitely, I think Moraes should fight someone outside of the top 10. Absolutely, probably outside the top 15. If I'm his management, basically, I give him kind of what Dan Hooker did tonight. He lost 2 big fights against top-ranked guys, Chandler, and before that was Poirier. So he was on 2-fight losing streak, correct? Hooker?
Yes.
Yeah. So they gave him someone outside the top 10. They didn't give him, one spot behind Chandler. They gave him someone clearly outside the top 10, top 15. If I'm Marlon Moraes, I take someone outside the top 15 too. I can't.
Yeah, but here's the thing about 135.
Oh yeah,
the difference between 10 and 40 at 55, and the difference between 10 and 40 at 35 are vastly different. Vastly different. I mean, 55 is full of killers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just look, Raulian Paiva, Kyler Phillips, Song Yadong, Casey Kenny, Timur Valiev, Ioni Barcelos, Montel Jackson, Julio Arce's got a fight coming up. Adrian Yanez, Saeed Nurmagomedov.
I was thinking Yanez, actually. I was thinking Yanez Moraes, but I think Yanez has a fight.
Yanez fighting Davey Grant in November.
Davey Grant. Oh, yeah. That's a brand new fight. It just got announced. But either way,
Brian Kelleher's not a bad choice.
Brian Kelleher.
I mean, Jack Shore is probably in the UFC's eyes like the 30th ranked guy, but Jack Shore is super legit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I hope they don't get rid of Moraes, but unfortunately, there's so many good bantamweights. I don't know if it's a financial thing. I don't know his pay, but okay. I mentioned
Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Moraes in a main event of a fight night or something.
Garbrandt
versus Moraes fight to make. Garbrandt's fighting Kaikar France.
Yeah, Garbrandt is now. He's officially a 25. He hasn't fought 25, but he has signed a contract to fight at flyweight. So that is a cool fight. But
UFC 269, December 11th. You'll see Cody Garbrandt fight at flyweight against Kaikar France.
Okay, it's just let's throw our guesses.
I don't know, man. I don't know. If this fight was at 170, we'd have options.
Yeah,
but 185.
We suggested. I think Donald Cerrone was our final choice. I think we said.
Yeah, I think that's the only fight that makes sense.
I think Nick Diaz goes on the Legends tour. Like fights like the Donald Cerrones, the Diego Sanchez's if he was still in the UFC, people like that. So yeah. I mean, we're not sure what Nick's contract status is. If he's a free agent, I assume he's not. But yeah.
Remember the reports that they want to do Shemaya versus Nick Diaz, which is just like totally. Those reports are totally wrong, by the way. It would just be the most nonsensical fight you can make.
All right, Johnson Tank. I am going to ban you if you keep spamming the comments. Matt Brown versus Nate Diaz. Matt Brown just got booked against who?
Brian Barberina.
Oh, that's a good fight. That's a good fight.
December 4th.
Actually, yeah, if Matt Brown wins, yeah, Matt Brown, Nick Diaz. Okay, how about this? Instead of saying what's next for Nick Diaz, is there a next? Is he going to fight in the UFC again? Is he going to fight MMA again?
Well, he did say if he got his ass kicked, he would call Dana and say, "Get me right back in there." So I mean, I wouldn't say he got his ass kicked, but I think the loss, like if he really meant that, I think the loss will leave a little bit of a sour taste in his mouth. But I just don't know. I just don't know I don't know what's there. Like I don't want to see him fight Shemaev or Duplessis or guys like that. Like
not 85. No, I don't want him to see if I fight a true 85er. If he fights 85, it's going to be a lightweight or welterweight, just not cutting weight. I definitely don't want to see him fight a true 85er for sure.
Yeah, I think Cerrone would be the perfect fight.
Cerrone's been out for a while. Yeah, and then you had the kind of the Nate story, because he never rematched Nate, so they kind of beat. I think we got Volkanovski.
Could it be?
Could it be?
Potentially the best fighter on the planet right now, Alexander Volkanovski.
People are gonna be so mad.
Volkan Baldsky is a bad dude. Keep shaving that head, son. Here he is, the champ.
Winner's piss is always good. Belt's on its way. We'll wait for that. No, we'll just go.
It's obviously an unbelievable fight, and to have a classic fight like that and still win basically every round on every card. I mean, pretty special accomplishment. So talk to me how you're feeling after a fight like that.
Yeah, man. I wanted to get the finish, and I've been talking about getting that finish, but at least it was a war. At least it was entertainment. Everyone enjoyed it. Obviously, while you're going through it, you're just worrying about what's happening. So straight after, I was like, fuck, didn't get the finish, you know what I mean? But then you come out, and everyone's just absolutely buzzing. So as long as we put on a performance, I'm starting to really come into this whole entertainment business. I get it. So you're going to see me being the heel from now on. I'm just going to fucking have a go at everyone. No, I'm joking. No, but you know what I mean? It's just, it was a good fight, fun fight. Everyone enjoyed it, so I'm happy.
Yeah, started out with a real
50 G's too, so you can't argue with that.
Not bad there. Started out with a real boxing heavy attack. I mean, was that the game plan going in, to stick with largely the boxing as much as possible?
Yeah, you obviously mix it all up. Really just try and put a puzzle in front of him. Find out the range early, which we did. Probably could have mixed the kicks in a little bit more and things like that, but it was just it was a good fight. He had me in some deep positions as well. It was a lot happening in there, and I've got to watch it back. But everyone's blowing out about it, so. I don't know yet, so I'll watch it back and see how good this fight was. But I'm just happy that I got the 50 G's, got the win, got the belt, bringing it back to Australia on the piss. We're laughing.
I think you'll be pleased when you watch it back. I did want to ask you, obviously the damage on his face was clear that you did to him, but you suffered a little under your eyes as well. Was that bothering you at all?
I just had a couple of cuts. One might have been a headbutt. I think there was an elbow on the top of the head. There must have been a punch with the other one, but. Mate, look, man, he's tough, you know what I mean? I was giving it to him, trying to get in his head. I said some things, I don't usually say that type of stuff, but obviously everyone knows, with things that brought up, I wasn't going to do it, heat of the moment, weight cutting, and me being the heel now, you know what I mean? Man, it was nothing but respect now. He got my respect. I thought I was going to break him. I thought he was broken after the third round. The ref decided to give him a minute to, ask him questions. He wasn't answering them right. I'm telling you, I was looking, and he was, look this way, and he's looking completely other way, and do this, do that. Answered every question wrong, and then they waited till he answered it right, and then let's get into it. So I was like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Like, they gave him an extra minute because I thought he was broken. I was like, all right, well, man, he literally couldn't even see where he was going. That's it. It's over. I go in there, start putting pressure, and he's firing back just like he was. Like nothing happened. So, mate, he's tough. He's durable, and credit to him.
You got yourself in a little bit of trouble at one point, right? The guillotine choke. I mean, can you talk about just how tight? Because it looked incredibly tight.
It was deep. It was deep. It was a fuck, I'm about to lose the belt deep. You know what I mean? Like it was, but again, like the type of human being I am, you know, we talk about me, you know, going through adversity and, you know, always being prepared and busting my ass and never give up attitude and all that shit. That's just exactly what you're seeing. I was deep. That was as deep as it can get. No shit. As deep as it can get. I remember I was making fucking weird noises. I remember I was sitting there, I was like going, I don't know what noise I made, but I remember he even said I was gurgling, but that was like a weird, oh fuck, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm about to lose this belt, like, you're kidding. And then I like obviously kept fighting and just opened a little bit of space. I'm like, all right, I'm good. And then got my chin out and then it was all good. And then I knew I'd be up from there. And then he chucked me in the fucking triangle as well. So, mate, it just shows, you know, T-City, he's known for his jiu-jitsu. I thought that he wouldn't get me that deep, but he did, credit to him. He made me really dig deep to get out of there. But again, I've showed time and time again that, you know, I always dig deep and, you know, that's just what champions are made of.
I have to ask, because surprisingly, I think you continued to grapple after that at times. But did your corner have a conversation with you? Like,
man, it was,
what are you doing here?
No, because, you know, that was, how did that happen? I'm trying to think how that exactly happened. Oh, yeah, because I think, I went to kick. He grabbed the kick and then punched at the same time. So when I fell down, as I was getting up, he jumped on it. Got into that position. But he done a good job of really wrapping up the legs. You know what I mean? I didn't expect him to wrap up the legs so quickly. So then he had control of me while he had it deep, where I didn't expect to be there. So when I'm up, you know, posturing up and all that type of stuff, you know, he's throwing them up, but it gives me space. I wasn't too threatened there. The boys were telling me to, like, more posture up, stand up. I thought they meant get the fuck out of there, which I don't blame them for saying that if they did. But they wanted me to posture up and just keep raining bombs. But, mate, I almost had him in the last, like, I was hitting him with big shots. It looked like he was done, but he come back stronger. So, again, I'm just going to give him credit.
Last thing for me, I mean, I know you said you're comfortable being the heel now, you're comfortable being the underdog, but I think you will walk away from...
I'll always be respectful, but, you know, there's going to be some things that might need to be said sometimes, so I'll say it.
Well, I think you're going to have a newfound respect after this fight. It certainly seemed that way. And so, give us an idea, what's the plan for now? Because obviously, this whole travel to Australia, the way things are, I mean, what do you see as the next couple moves for you? Because you've beaten the big names in the division, obviously.
Well, we got the, you know, and Max fighting. You know, so I'm guessing that's for number one contender. You know, whoever wins that gets that shot right. And that's not till November. And I want to fight, man. Like, so do I move up lightweight, do something, you know what I mean? Maybe move up lightweight, fight the champion, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Give me something. Because, you know, again, I had, 14 months off because of this whole, you know what I mean? I'm thinking of even, you know, maybe bring the family over and stay here for a year, ride out this fucking lockdown thing because it's a mess, you know? And that's why I said this fight was for everyone back home that are struggling. They're going through tough times in New Zealand and Australia. So, yeah, again, so that's why we got to, you know, talk to the family, talk to the team and see what's our best move. Maybe we ride it out here, knock out, you know, just smash some fights out. Everyone just build everything up and kick some ass.
Alex, to your left here, to your left over here.
Oh, yep.
First thing I wanted to ask you about is, you know, 20 wins in a row, and not a lot of people were talking about that in light of everything that went on. What was the hardest thing about that, and what does it mean to you to get to that specific number?
It sounds cool. You know, numbers there, you hear the numbers like that, that's pretty cool. I don't pay too much attention to it. I just worry about the challenges that are in front of me. You know, taking out guys like, you know, Chad Mendes, Aldo, Max Holloway, Ortega, you know, doing that, you know, I mean, that's more incredible to me. Having a 25 win streak is impressive. So, yeah, but I mean, yeah, not many people can do that, but I'm expecting to just keep that streak rolling. So, yeah, 20 is good, but let's get to 30 or something. So we'll start talking about that when I hit a few more numbers.
Put Habib in the rearview mirror, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
When you beat Aldo and Holloway twice, and yet, you know, not that you weren't getting respect, but I mean, there were other guys that were, you know, people were talking about, oh, Holloway might have won the second fight or whatever. So do you feel like, you know, you changed that narrative tonight by doing not only winning the fight, but getting out of the two submissions and showing how tough you were in that fight? Do you think you changed the narrative about you now to a more positive one?
Oh, man, mate, it was entertaining. So even if they are going to keep carrying on about it, whatever. Like I said it, there's going to be doubters no matter what you do. You know what I mean? People are going to sit there and be like, oh, he got, you know, almost got submitted. He's going to get submitted again. I don't think anyone's going to put me in a deeper fucking submission than that. So I ain't worried about that. No one's going to get me in any positions. And if they do, I don't think anyone's going to put me in more trouble than that. So again, there's going to be doubters every time. Let them hate. Let them carry on. I love it. I still love you. You just give me that drive. So man, all good. I say it time and time again. Underdog mentality. You know what I mean? What I know now is not enough. It's never enough. What I'm doing is not enough. We're going to do more. You know what I mean? You're not good enough. Obviously I know I'm better than these fighters, but hey, I'm just going to keep telling myself, you need to do more. You need to do more. So let the doubters say, I love proving wrong. You know what? I love making people that bet on me money. So because all my supporters, I know they're betting on me and they're winning some money. So we all good.
And the final thing for me, is there another level that you can get to? I mean, what you're doing is amazing, obviously, but you're talking about working and trying to improve. I mean, can you still get to another level in the sport?
Oh, 100%. 100%. My composure in there was good. I've always been composed. I put the pace on. I was very, very comfortable in there. I was very comfortable even with, getting in his face, doing the whole hype up thing and all that type of stuff. It gave me a whole new energy. Absolutely loved it. People, the crowd booing me, all that shit. Fucking loved it. Absolutely loved it and just used it as fuel. So, I think this is going to change me from here on out. You know what I mean? You're going to see a whole different. Bald Volk is coming for fucking everyone.
Alex, right here on the front.
Where are you?
I'm curious, did you happen to see Conor McGregor's tweets about your fight?
Well, I heard about it. It sounds like he's on the piss.
Yeah, so do you want
Good
me,
on him.
do you want me to read it?
So am I. I will be too.
Do you want me to read it to you?
No, something about sharding or farting or
We
something.
also said congrats.
Doesn't really make sense, but hey.
You also said congrats at the end of the fight, so we seem to enjoy it.
Yeah. It's Conor, man. We're kind of doing Conor things. Good on him. But, I don't know if it's like, if he wants to come back down to 145. Obviously, that will never happen, but.
We think it's right around the broadcast. They said you had beaten the two best featherweights of all time. And
okay.
Conor and, Jose and Max.
Yeah, that would have stung him a little bit.
Yeah.
That would have stung him a little bit, especially while he's on the piss, So, anyway, I'm going to be on the piss. Maybe you'll see some weird fucking tweets from me too. We'll see what happens.
And what do you make of that fight between Max and Yair? A lot of people just thought Max was going to be next in line. He didn't have to take another fight. And now
Yeah, man, you know what? That just shows you, again, I'm going to give credit to, Ortega. There was bad blood. I was fucking saying all this shit. And look what he went and done. He showed pure heart, put me in fucking dangerous positions. Nothing but respect. Max, he can get I guarantee he doesn't have to take this fight. And they're already asking him to give, and he's still going to go take it. He wants that number one spot. He wants to earn it. It shows you what type of guy he is. So how can you not respect that? Good on him. That's exactly what I'd fucking do. You know what I mean? So you got to give him respect. You know what I mean? But I'll give him respect. But you let him go do the thing. How do I think that fight's going to go? Yair Rodriguez is a great fighter. Stylistically, I think Max is a nightmare for him. So I'm expecting Max to go out there, do his thing, and we're going to be running that trilogy. And Dana's going to pay us good money for it. So I'm just looking forward to seeing it. But man, I just want these challenges, man. These big fights, and that's going to be a huge fucking fight. So whoever it is, let's do it. If it's they're not fighting until later, and if I have to move up just to get a fight while we're waiting for that, because again I want to fight regularly. I don't want to wait another fucking 6-7 months. So excuse my language. I'm swearing a lot today. But yeah, so we'll just see what happens.
You said you would move up to get another fight.
Move up. Go up the lightweight, have a bit of fun there, and then just wait for the winner, and then we run that whoever that is with.
In terms of going on the piss, do you always start your day off with one from a flip flop? Because I saw you drinking a beer.
From the flip-flop from I call them a vlečki. That's a Macedonian way of calling a vlečki, a slide. So I did, I've never really done one of those before, but I fucking nailed it. I only got a couple of little drops out. I've pretty much got it all in there. Usually people get all over them. I'm a master. See, I'm a master at everything.
Just fantastic. In the fight, you mentioned about the guillotine and how that was, oh fuck, I'm nearly going to lose the belt deep. Was the triangle as deep, or was that a little bit loose?
No, the triangle wasn't too bad. It was obviously deep, but I felt like, I could, I'm strong enough to sort of put him in positions to not get it as tight, and I knew I'd get out of that. But that guillotine was fucking deep.
You mentioned before the fight, like he said, I feel like in another time we could be good, decent acquaintances and we could have a beer and stuff. And you weren't super hot on that idea. But after
I said if I was drunk, I would. And I'm almost there. So maybe, look, man, I did again, look, they're building up the fight. I think I never usually try and, do that type of shit. So I was picking at everything. Obviously, everyone knows I'm against the shit that I bring up. I wasn't going to bring it up. I'll be honest. I'm not the type. I was like, I didn't want to do it. Weight cutting, pissed off. I bring it up. Again, I'm against that. But it was a long time ago, and I hope he's changed. But yeah. So again, we were pretty cool. Obviously, there are things that annoy me, but I'm looking for these things to annoy me. That's where I was at. I was looking for things to hate him. You know what I mean? And to be honest, after the fight and what we shared in that octagon, yeah, I think we can be some acquaintances. So we'll see.
Last one for me. You said that you're nearly pissed. How many beers does it take to get you to the level you want to be?
Fucking after punching on for 25 minutes, only a few by the looks of it. So yeah, I've had it this is my fourth. It's probably a third, but I'll say four just to sound. Yeah, mate, I think 4, 3 or 4. We're down them pretty quick, I guess.
So congrats.
Thank you.
Alex, to your right, over here. Alex.
Oh.
Alex, right here.
Yep.
Does it bother you the fact that you didn't beat these big guys, Max, Jose? These supposed to be the greatest of the division, but they'll talk about you being the greatest division, and you didn't beat these guys. Does that bother you?
Wait, say that again, sorry?
The fact that you beat these guys that are considered the best of all
Yeah.
time in the division, but nobody's considered you the best of
Oh,
all time.
mate, there's people, I guarantee you there's people out there that are there to throw my name out there, you know what I mean? But again, you're going to, especially with Max and some of these guys, these are, they've had a lot of time to really build themselves up, get a big fan base and all that. So, mate, it wasn't that long ago when you see Max in this exact same position. No one giving him the respect he deserved when he was kicking everyone's ass. How long was his winning streak before he even got a title shot? All that bullshit, you know what I mean? So it does happen. I was just going through that process. That's going to change, and I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. But again, man, you take out guys like Max Holloway twice, Aldo, Chad Mendes, Ortega. You can't not throw my name around there. So I guarantee my name's out there. But again, you've got to give the guys like Aldo, champion for so long. There's going to be days when you're not on. This is a fucking crazy sport. Man, I'm swearing a lot. So you're going to be, you're going to be injured. Some days you're just not going to turn up, and to stay champion for that long, that's why I still say he's the GOAT. But I'm not far off.
After you got out the choke, it seemed like you got an extra fuel to your fire because you basically put them in deep waters and you drowned them. Would that be safe to say that?
Oh yeah, I knew he would have burnt some energy there, and for me to get out of that, and I was like, there's no way it can get any fucking deeper than that. So I'm like, let's just pour it on. You know what I mean? So I just went AWOL, and I heard the ref he was ready to stop it. And we got close. The buzzer went. He didn't get up. The ref could have stopped that fight, especially the doctors.
I know your job is to fight and whoop people's ass, but when you see something like that, do you think he needs to get up and get on the stool himself, or not? He got helped up by his whole damn team.
That happened?
Well,
you're not loud. I didn't know about that.
Well,
That's it. I'm about to fucking. No, I'm joking. I didn't know about that. But yeah, well, that's not allowed. You literally can't touch them.
Yeah.
That's considered a TKO. I'm a claim it.
And
Dana,
for
we're gonna claim it.
For somebody to come to the sport, I saw you fight. I can tell you're a hell of a fighter. I see you in person. I see why you're the real deal. But going on the show, do you think that helped build up your brand? We got to see your personality and see all that. The whole world got to see that. Do you think and looking back on it, that was a great decision for you, or that's just entertainment? It's separate from fighting.
Yeah, man. The whole thing you just didn't get to see nowhere near enough. You know what I mean? It just, man, put a camera in front of me and people are gonna like me. You know what I mean? It's just, again, I'm not the type of guy that's gonna, I'm not gonna do smash dollies through fucking windows and carry on and all that. So, I'm not gonna do all that type of bullshit. You know what I mean? But again, you put a camera in front of my face, people are gonna like me because I'm a pretty chill dude. I'm a fun dude. But again, I'm not gonna go out of my way. But I tell you, I really enjoyed this whole process, fight week, the whole thing about it. Even, building the fight up and all that type of stuff. I'm not usually the type to do that. And I'm the type of guy, someone asks me a question, I'm just going to answer the fucking thing. A lot of people, they got these narratives they want to push and all that, and I'm just, I'm not like that. I'm chill. You ask me how I'm going, I'm going to sound fucking good. A lot of people going, yeah, and they've got a question ready, and I'm not like that. I'm just real. I'm going to say what's on my mind, But again, put a camera in front of me, people get to know me, they're going to love me.
With all the craziness going on at 155, you said you would go up. Would you go up for a title? Do you think you could get up in the title shot? Or how do you think you would compete with them? Would the size be a big difference, or you just gonna roll the dice and see what's up?
Man, everyone knows about. I'm used to the big boys. I train with bigger guys all the time. You know, I used to be 214 pounds. You know, I played a prop, front row for rugby league. It's the biggest position. You know what I mean? That's the big boppers. You know what I mean? That's the position that I played. You know, and I fought at middleweight, welterweight. You know, my only loss was at welterweight. You know what I mean? So I'm used to the big guys. But I mean, hey, like I said, you know, I just don't want to wait 6 months or something like that. So if we could run something back, let's do it.
Final question for me: What higher level can you get to that you haven't got to? What's the best Volkanovski that there is?
Mate.
Have we seen it?
Nah, man, sky's the limit, mate. Keep, you know what I mean? Like, again, that underdog mentality. What I know now is not going to be enough in a month's time. You know what I mean? What I know now, yeah, I feel like I'm ahead of the game. But these guys, they might be where I am now. We need to evolve. We're always looking. You know, we've got a great team behind us. They're doing a great job to always be on top of the game, not only studying fighters, studying the best fighters out there, things, you know, why is this guy so good at this, you know what I mean? You can always evolve. You can always broaden everything. You guys like, you know, jiu-jitsu, you got like guys like Craig Jones and all that showing you shit that you're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? How good's this? You know what I mean? So you can evolve. Mate, trust me, there's levels to this and I'm right up there, but we're going to keep going. I guarantee you. Thank you.
Alex, sorry, over here. How many beers until you would go put a dolly through a bus?
I'm usually a pretty happy drunk, to be honest. So I don't know. Not yeah. Who knows?
No,
not me. That's not my style.
You've talked a lot about the underdog mentality and maintaining that and driving you. But I mean, at some point, you're a big favorite tonight. I mean, at some point, you're not going to be an underdog to anybody. How difficult is it to kind of keep that going?
Yeah, man. Again, when I say that, it doesn't mean that I am the underdog. It's just that's the mentality in my head. Just purely telling myself that, you know, you're not doing enough. You know what I mean? They're doing more. You know what I mean? And I know, like, again, I know they're not doing more. No one fucking does more than me. I'm telling you. You know, but again, you know, that's what gets me up in the morning. You know, that's what, you know, makes me do what I'm doing. You know, that makes me, when you see me doing these workouts, like, how does he fucking do this? It's because I'm telling myself I need to. You know what I mean? That's just that mentality. Again, I know I'm not the underdog going into a lot of these fights, but that's what I tell myself. I tell myself that, you know, what you know now is not enough.
Is there something you have to do to maintain that when everybody keeps saying how great you are?
No, just me. Again, I'm a very level-headed guy, and that's just the type of guy I am. You know, I don't let all the shit get to my head. You know, I'm going to go home, and I'm daddy. And as I say, my kids don't give a fuck about this. You know, they're going to be like, Dad, cook me some fucking eggs. I'm like, all right, I'll cook you some eggs. No worries, you know what I mean? And that's it, I'm dad. You know what I mean? I walk the streets, I completely forget that I'm a UFC champion, so I'm just me. I'm a normal human being. That's just how I am, and I think that's what makes me be who I am. Makes me always keep working harder, you know what I mean? Just purely because that's the type of guy I am.
I know you talked a couple times about what was going on in the corner between rounds. At the second time, so it was after the fourth round.
Okay.
It sounded like you were protesting pretty loudly of like, hey, what's going on over there? Like, were you getting bothered by that?
Of course, you know what I mean? I'm known for my gas tank. I'm, you know, wanting to break him, and we're giving him a whole extra minute. You know, he's already got a minute. Then we just give him another minute. So obviously I'm going to be a little dirty about that. But hey, at least the fight kept going, and then we got to put on more of a show for the fans. So I'm all right now because I still got the belt. But obviously at the time I was like, what are you doing? Like, you know, are we all against me or what? Fuck.
Last thing, as long as we're bringing up tweets, Henry Cejudo said he's coming back.
Fuck Henry Cejudo.
To take out Alexander the Average in response to him.
What did he say?
He's coming back to take out Alexander the Average.
Oh, mate, he's called out everyone. Like, I mean, he's called out females. He's called out, you know what I mean? Like, what you actually believe the shit that comes out of his mouth? Nah, don't worry about him.
Thanks, man.
I'll squash the little germ. Thank you.
Do another one? Yeah, just. I'm gonna butcher this now. Hey, I'm not a spitter.
I don't want to see that. I'm sorry.
This is what we have Ricardo. Baby. All of that. And the paper is one. In a ball. Right. In your hole. In a ball.
That's why you are the best of the business, Casey. Perfectly timed. A victory shoey. I believe it is the 5th victory shoey, or a Sandley. I mean, he did the Sanda ones earlier, so. But congratulations to Alexander Volkanovski. Tremendous performance. And that'll do it for the press conference stream. We're going to do a post-fight show, but it ain't going to be a long one, folks. I can just tell you that right now. It's 3:15 here on the East Coast. But we'll do a little something on the other side. So if you want to stick around and talk more about this card, join us on the other side. We might just throw it to you guys and let you guys run this whole damn thing. So until then, have a good night, everybody. And we'll see you in, like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes.
5-10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. Bye-bye.